Is it possible that a fragrance will make you more attractive? This topic we cover in the following video. What are the best date fragrances you can use on a special evening, and when should you use which fragrance? This is the topic what we are covering right now. So let's first start with the weapon of choice, and this fragrance is the most complex we have here on the table. Unfortunately, it's also the most expensive one. We have here every fragrance from 100 euro up to 500 euro. And we'll start with an anchor point with the 500 euro fragrance. Here we have Blonde Amber. This fragrance you probably have heard of. It is worn by the celebrities. We have Imam Ghazi showing it into the camera. We have Tyson Fury wearing this fragrance. And let me tell you something. In the date world of fragrances, vanilla and sweet ingredients, you know, they are the main role, because if a man wears this fragrance, the women tend to like it, and it makes it kind of feel, let's say, more attractive. This fragrance right here is the most complex one with over 200 ingredients. Blonde Amber is really the shooting star of last year. We sold thousands of bottles of it, and it has a very high complexity. But what is this fragrance all about? First off, this fragrance can be worn, let's say, to any date, let's say outside for a summer walk or maybe a winter walk. It doesn't matter. This fragrance can be worn on any date occasion. The central stone is about vanilla, tonka bean, rum. These are the main ingredients. If we take a closer look, there's also some kind of fruitiness inside, which I really don't feel. We have grapefruit here, frankincense, pepper, but these notes are more in the background. This is a high complex fragrance. If you want to use one fragrance for every night activities, for club, for dinner, for everything, then Blonde Amber would be probably my choice. Only problem is it's very expensive, and what can I say? The good stuff always costs a little bit more. The next one is a quite popular fragrance. I would suggest this one for people in the age between 20 to 35 years of age. Here we have Inizio's Side Effect. This fragrance right here is also quite sweet. We have cinnamon, rum, tobacco, and saffron inside. It's a fragrance which I would suggest for a very intimate dinner. Yeah, it's not a fragrance I would personally use for outside activities. If you have, something very special and you're just the two of you, then this would be my fragrance, which I would recommend. We also have some sandalwood inside, and especially when it's a little bit colder or if it's dark, then this is the right fragrance. Very seductive, and for everyone, I would say 35 years or less in age. Now we are approaching a little bit more brighter fragrance, and this fragrance we released under the name Amorist, and the name itself it has something to do with the love, with the topic of love. When would I use this fragrance? This one is the one which you use on your daytime. Maybe you go to, let's say, walk in the park, or you go to the cinema. All this occasion, I would personally use this one. You have 35% oil inside. It will be very long lasting on your skin for more than 12 hours. And check out the rating on Parfumo. Yeah, numbers don't lie. I think we are close to 8.0 on this rating. We have here some black currant inside, then mixed with also some sweeter stuff. At first, when you smell it, you maybe think that rose would be something inside here, but no, there's no rose inside here. We have some flowery notes, and if a man wears flowers as a perfume, it has a kind of very interesting twist. So if you have some daytime activities as a date, this would be my recommendation. There's no age to it. I mean, everyone can wear it. So Amorist, one great recommendation from my side, and what can I say? It's one fragrance from us. So anyway, it's a great one. The next is something for, let's say, the man who likes sweet fragrances with a fruity twist. Here we have Anfas, Red Ish from Asim Al Qasim. This fragrance here uses the concept of Baccarat Rouge. Probably most of you guys, Baccarat Rouge. And then he kind of made it a little bit more fruity towards strawberry notes. This one can be worn by ladies as well as men, but obviously we have 90% of men. And it is very versatile. You need to be the guy for it. So if you have, for example, Evapura, if you have Kirke, if you have fruity fragrances, this is the one you can use. It is definitely for, let's say, if you're going into a club or if you have a lot of people around you, you are interacting with a lot of people, this is the one I would personally use. I don't go to this kind of situations, but you get the point. If there are a lot of people and you maybe have a party where you are attending to and there's someone you like and you are chatting with a lot of people, this is the fragrance I would recommend because it's very likable. It's an open fragrance. It's not very intriguing in the sense that it is closed, that if someone smells it, it says, okay. It's not the most intimate fragrance. It is fruity, it is fun, but it's also kind of deep towards the oak moss, strawberry. We have also saffron and amber inside. The next one is the kind of fragrance probably no man uses, only if you are following me. This is really the sleeper among all of these fragrances. But honestly, this is my go-to fragrance. I love this fragrance and it is so fun to wear. Here we have Amouage Ouverture, and if you take a closer look at the bottle, this is the women's version. But my guys, they're in niche fragrance world that we don't have genders. In the real world we have two of them, but in the niche perfume world, no. Here is it's a fruity fragrance which is very fun to wear as a man. If you are, let's say, in a summer vacation and you go to the beach, you have a walk on the beach and you need to be you need to spice up some things, then this is the fragrance I would recommend. Fun to wear. We have in here some apple, saffron. We have a little bit of rose, cinnamon, which also gives sweetness, and leather. So this fragrance right here is for, let's say, a summer day where you are outside and you are going to have a lot of fun. It's not for the dark places. So during the winter time, this would not be the one I would recommend. But yeah, if you are, let's say, on the beach side, or if it's really hot outside and you need to have a seductive fragrance, this is the one I would choose. The next fragrance, maybe a lot of people already have it in stock. We are talking about Xerjoff Naxos. This fragrance right here is for all the men who are maybe, let's say, on a budget. They want to have a fragrance which they can use also outside of a date. We are talking about sugar, or let's say a honey rum fragrance. This one is quite masculine. It has also vanilla inside and some woody notes, including tobacco. This one is also more, let's say, for the clubbing experience. If you are going out and you maybe meet with someone later on, but first off you are joining your friends, your boys, and you're heading outside. So this is not for the most intimate moments. If you have a kind of one-on-one date, this is not the one I would take. But if you know that maybe you are meeting someone and you want to smell nice and interesting and masculine, then this is the one. Tobacco leaves are very kind of dry, and in combination with the vanilla and the honey, it's very seductive and nice. This one is, it doesn't matter if it's winter, summer, autumn, you can wear it during the year. And if you don't have it, also here numbers don't lie, check Profumo. It is, it was on #1 in the niche fragrance category, but this is really essential. And don't get these dupes, if you want to have the most complex and the best version, then just buy the original. You won't regret it. This 245 euro is really, it's worth it. Now let's continue with one fragrance which is the least expensive one. We are talking about a Weissbomb from Simone Andrioli. When should you use this one? If you are on a coffee date, we all know you have some dates maybe during the day, and you say, okay, let's grab a coffee and just sit down and chat a little bit. This is the fragrance I would recommend. First off, it has some really dark and deep notes in terms of density of the ingredients. In here we have tonka bean, we have sugar, vanilla, some sherry, and some red fruits. Along when I'm reading it here, this is just the best fragrance if you are maybe later during the day. Not for you can use it for the evening, but I personally would use it between, let's say, 3 to 6 o'clock. And then if you're going to a coffee house and just having a chat and meeting up with someone someone special, this is the fragrance I would use. It's a very interesting and sweet smelling fragrance. For 100 ml Eau de Parfum Intense with the awesome sprayer, this is, I think it costs €150 or even less. This is the fragrance to go. Then let's move on to another fragrance. It is called Duquesa. From Gritty, it is just the best cherry fragrance. It is a fragrance which I would personally use more towards the evening time. This fragrance has several advantages. First off, it's a little bit more expensive, I have to say, but you can layer it with woody fragrances, so you can play around with it. Probably, you know, every female, they like the smell of sweet cherry. It's just a very intriguing and it's an interesting kind of note on a man. We have here, besides the cherry, which is really the main part, bitter orange, some saffron, we have jasmine, as well as some iris inside here. I would say everyone between 20 to 35 years of age can use it. You can use it if it's a little bit more darker outside. For the daytime, it's also possible, but I personally would use it more during the evening time because it has the sweetness inside. And this one is also meant to be worn at a, let's say, one-on-one day. Yeah, if you're with someone alone, you can easily wear this one. It is also the most fruitiest fragrance besides Ouverture. So if you tend to like fruity fragrances, then also you will like this one for sure. And let me tell you, all fragrances which are here on the table, you can just blind buy them. They are not difficult to wear. There are no fragrances which kind of you will probably not like. If you like certain ingredients, then you will be very happy with these fragrances. Now let's turn to one which has one of the nicest bottles. Here we have Copencial from Panadora. This fragrance right here is the most woody fragrance, sandalwood. All the fragrance right here we had before, they don't smell like this one. If you tend to like this type of fragrance, I think you know what I mean. Here we have a strong sandalwood note inside. We have amber, cardamom, saffron, and very strong saffron note, I have to say, and blood orange. So this fragrance is the one which I would personally also recommend for, let's say, the whole day. If you are going for a trip, let's say you're meeting up with someone for Saturday or Sunday, and you spend the whole day with them and you don't know what you should spray on. Maybe you start with a walk, then you go for lunch or dinner, and it's a long period of time. The most versatile and the great fragrance for the whole day, an intimate day with someone, is Copencial. This one is just nice. You can also, of course, wear it during. It's not only meant for date, but it has a kind of. It is kind of seductive. So that's why I would personally use it. Let's say if you spend a whole day with someone who you like, then this would be my recommendation. Let's move on to Dates Delight from the House of Oud. First off, can we appreciate the beautiful bottle which we have here? This fragrance really came up during the last 6 months. And the center stone of this fragrance is dates. Dates Delight, dates. With dates and milk. So if you have a lot of this stuff which I present to you and you want to enjoy something new, you like the sweet stuff and you want something, such a beautiful fragrance, which you can wear on, let's say, also, you know, you can also wear it on your job site. For me personally, it would be too sweet. It is one of the nicest fragrances which I just experienced in the past 6 months. As the imagination goes on, dates, milk, vanilla, all these ingredients are really nice. So if you are, let's say, having a meet up with someone and you are going to cook with them, it's also something what you do for a date. You meet up with someone and you are cooking a meal, very nice, thing to do, then this would be the fragrance I would use, because it's not too strong in a sense that you get disturbed by it. If you are eating and if you're not in the restaurant with big rooms, because if you have just a small room or a kitchen and the fragrance is it's too stingy, then this is the fragrance I would say is the best way to go. Everyone will like it. Everyone will say, what is that unusual nice smell? And yeah, one recommendation from my side. Now let's go to Switzerland and talk about the last one in my hand. This one is called Zaya, the most sold fragrance from the first generation from Parfums Delmar. This fragrance right here has some chocolate inside. We have tonka bean, apple, cognac and honey. So here we have also this boozy kind of vibe, a fragrance which is a little bit more serious. So I would say if you're 25 years and older, this is a serious fragrance, maybe for let's say a second or third date. date where, you know, it's just a little bit more serious. For people who are also tend to be a little bit older in age. Beautiful fragrance. The quality of the juice is exceptional. The glass outside here is hand polished. We have, I always forget what this metal is, but this is a special alloy. They made the bottle cap out of it. And Zaya is a brand which is really upcoming. I think that the owner of this house is just a true gentleman. I met him before. He's just a great guy, and I always like to recommend Zaya because it's mass appealing. It's a niche fragrance. Not a lot of people are knowing about this one. And if you are liking this kind of rum, vanilla, honey, tonka bean vibe, then this one is definitely a must-have. I hope I could show you some new fragrances and maybe give you an explanation for some fragrances which you already have in stock. Please check out our website. There we have all fragrances also as a 5 ml sample set, so you can just try it out and enjoy. And then I see you guys next time. Leave a like, and that way you don't miss anything. So, bye-bye.